You sound like you're still sick too.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's a bummer. Well, I hope you feel better soon, and you and the family.
Thanks, man. All right, let's take a look what's going on. So I just marked some levels here, like we previous week, high and lows. Let's see, what else am I missing here? This is POC here. Kind of looking at the structure, and then I looked at the 3-week balance here, see where we are. We might be executing an 80% rule here very soon. It looks like we want to execute the 80% rule here. On 30 minutes, we got a couple of candles here. It's not a bad short here soon, which will bring it back all the way 39.60 or so. And then here we got a VPOC as well. So this should be a good area of a bounce. And another VPOC here. A lot of VPOCs here on the bottom. So let's see, what do we have? So we're out of the previous week value area, so we're searching the next one. We're below the PD value area high. I think an easy short would be here below the PD POC. So that'd be an interesting one there. If we're able to drop below the PD value area low, I'm pretty sure we get this 40 points here rather quickly. And I'm pretty certain that the volume profile, if you guys grab it from here, go all the way to the top, you guys will see some stuff here that's pretty telling, right? If you're able to break below the PD value area low, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to drop at least 39, 33. Then they had some volume here, but it looks like it was pretty aggressive selling at one point, and they brought it back to this level. So I'm pretty certain that this level would be triggered here, the VPOC that we have at the 39, 15, 14 level. So that's something I would watch. If you guys looked at the dailies on this, so right now, you had this candle here, the effort and the result. That's what I was trying to explain to you guys in the charts. This candle here and the volume, widespread body candle doesn't really match the volume. And here on the volume, I picked 50 days average, right, to give it more average to see, how it does. And we're still below it. So that tells me that effort and result of this was kind of bullshit. So next one here, this is not an anomaly here, but as you're going up, it is an anomaly because you're making lower volume but going up. The candle itself is not, because you have a wide small body candle and not a lot of volume, so you don't expect to see a big candle on small volume, and that's correct. So right now, so far, we're printing inside that candle. And it could be that we reject right around this area as well. So we initially had some support on this level that you guys are seeing here. We had some support there, and now we're kind of coming back to that level, very close to it, and we're not able to go over it. Okay. Did anyone draw any other VPs, FVPs on this?
That last downtrend.
Anyone?
The last downtrend. For like mid-August to mid-October.
Fixed range of the run up that the largest bar previous day or the rundown.
You could look at this right here. That's one of the ways you could look at this, and then another one is to go from here to kind of go into this area right here, and that's what we were looking at. At least that's what I'm looking at as well. Here you're grabbing this buying volume, so if you did not want to do that, you could certainly do this, right? So right now I'm just looking from from this level here all the way to here, and we're coming back to that 4150 level, which happens to be Q3 value area high as well. So this area here, if we are able to break out of this, I mean, that would be pretty big, right? It would be big for the market. We might get a bounce. So it'll be really interesting to see how they want to play that. And then the next level that we would have, from the POCs, and these are major levels. Like this is not something that happens in a day. We will have something here, which should be 4,500. Man, is there a way they can get it there? Yeah, they could manipulate some news, whether it's the end of the war, like in Ukraine and whatnot, supply chain issues. I keep seeing news that China is getting more COVID right now, so there's a lot going against it as well. So let's see how we play out as we get to this level. I'm interested in this level for a few reasons, right? So you have this, the POC that we just marked here on the sell-off, and you guys see this cluster here. It's fairly big. I mean, even if I grab the cluster from here to here, the POC is going to be right around that area. So this level is going to be huge. 4150 is going to be huge. Is there a chance that they push it up to, 4200? Yeah, I would say that there's a chance that they pull it. Where would that be? Somewhere around here. I think like right here. So right here in the middle of this little gap. So there's a chance that they could pull it there. And, I don't see them pushing above this 4224. I don't know how they would execute that unless there's some really, really good news that I'm not aware of that might be coming. Okay. Any questions on this? So, in terms of, where do we go if you want to go, on calls, you have to get over the most recent, shelves here. So if you guys look at this sell-off here, I would say that this line right here that we drew just now, like 40.25, this level has to be broken, come back for a retest, and then we have the go ahead, probably 41.50. If as we approach this level here, you have to be really careful with calls because it can happen sooner than that, and that's why me personally, I got in some puts a little bit ahead, just see how they do. Okay. Any questions on ES? And for people that trade market structure, if you care to know it, right? So far, if you guys think about it, this was you're making lower highs, then you made a higher high, right? So between this one and this one here, it's called higher highs, right? It's relative compared to the previous peaks, and then you made lower lows. But also at the same time here, if you look at the price action, this was what? Does anyone know what this is? So this is your break of structure, right? In case you break this, you have the ability to make newer lows, and that's what we did. We broke the new lows, and a lot of liquidities here as well. Sell side liquidity is kind of stuck right here below. So now, if you guys think about it, there's a lot of manipulation right now, and a lot of liquidity being built up in both ends right here. So they're driving this higher and higher. Okay. So this means here they're building liquidity on both sides as people look to break this out. You know, they bring it back and so on. So let's see what they do now. Here you have higher high, lower highs. And what's important about this high here versus the lows here? Does anyone know? What's the importance of it?
It was stronger than the low.
Much stronger than the low. All right, so this high here that we identified took out this low here. So now if they're able to bring that, and it doesn't mean they're going to bring it up to here, right? So this is the most recent high. That doesn't mean they're going to bring it here. They can also bring it up to this level here and dump from there. So if you guys look at the daily candles, you know, a lot of you guys are looking at, you know, FVGs and all that. I mean, you have one kind of right here. And it's right in. And then if you guys grab the volume just from here to here, you'll see something on the volume that's pretty telling, right? You guys see that? And it goes even up to here, 41.23.
B.
Yep, and it's a lowercase b, correct? And there's no volume here. So that's a really low liquidity all the way until the value area high, hence the 68%, right? That's what we're after. And here, I would honestly expect that we take a little bit of a pullback, right? And the best thing you can do right here is to find this pullback, is to find this 50% of this candle. Remember, large candles, usually you want to find the 50% of those and expect a bounce here. And that's something that's true also on this big one here. You know, even if you go here, so 40.56, if they want to push it, that's fine. They can go in that area as well. So let's see. And we're right at this POC now. So 39.71. If you're able to break below that, I think that's where the disaster starts. I
We're
mean, disaster to the downside
at 618 as well, I believe.
of the whole run up.
Yeah, of that.
This,
No, the one next to it.
this one,
Yep.
right here. Yep. So, I mean, you're right there. We almost tagged it. And now you have the 50% and your bounce 50 is 38.80. This 39.14 level here is going to be pretty important. So if you guys recall, we have that 39.14 as a pretty important level here. If you guys look, it's the VPOC and previous week value area high, and it's the 50%. So that level might carry some weight here. So if they kind of go up here and come here, this would be a great opportunity to go ahead and buy. So hopefully you guys can understand the two ideas, right? I mean, you have the market structure, your higher highs, lower highs, and just looking to see what's happening. And then you have, you know, your volume profile studies and see how that works as well. If you guys look at the whole thing on like a weekly, you know, 41.55 is the 50% of the whole from all-time high to the recent low. So that's something to pay attention to, right? You guys want to be aware of this level here as we approach it, because that level again carries a lot of stuff that we identified here. You know, Q3 value area high, the sell-off POC here. So that makes this level super powerful, guys. And you know, I think eventually at some point we're gonna reach this. My opinion on this is that, you know, there's a lot of institutional bag holders, so no better way to create liquidity for them than, I guess, make CPI numbers look great, run it up more, get the retail to feel the FOMO where like, oh my God, I didn't buy those shares at the bottom. Let me just get it now. And as they get that FOMO, they surprise you and then they sell off, and that's where it triggers, right? Because they'll never really sell off when everybody's in calls, in the puts, I'm sorry. So that's something you guys should be keeping an eye on. Okay. I posted some charts. Let's see. I don't know if you guys had a chance to look at it. So for instance, AMD, if you guys look at AMD here, so you had support, support, support. You bounce from it, you come back the first time and you bounce from it, right? So you went from May 21 all the way here, you bounce, and now you're coming back for a retest here. So in this area here, unfortunately, is not a single line level, so it looks like this. So there's a high chance that we might get a rejection here because this is your SR flip and these usually work. And when I say usually, it doesn't mean it will work. It just means that there's a high probability to work because you held it as such a nice support 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and now you broke it and you're retesting that. So if you just take some fibs from here to here and kind of figure out, hey, is there a chance that they can pump it up a little bit more and then reject? Yeah, but then there's something you have to be aware of if that happens. And what is that? If they go over it, what do you have to be aware of?
Retest of support.
Yeah, they might accept it again above this area, right? So you guys know the acceptance would occur if it goes like up to here, and then it could go to the next liquidity level, let's call it 103, and go from there. So that's a potential, right? And if you guys do the kind of like the sell-off POC thing here, well, we can't go grab that candle because of this crap. So it looks like that this one right here would be the level that they're after. About 77.07 is the level that they'd be looking to reject. And that would be a good trap, right? That means you really did not break inside of that support, but it could be that you come here and then you kind of go short from that level. So this is something I'm watching on AMD here. I'll be looking to short that right around this level. And you can find some VPOCs on this as well. I'm pretty certain that there's some above as well. Yep, so if you guys look, there's one right with that POC here. So 76.5 would be level. And then another trick you can do. So if you guys see from this level, it consolidated and it dumped. So the best thing you could do is go up to here and find that level, and you'll see again 76.74. It was that POC. So if you're able to come back to this range, I would say something like this. This should be a good area for rejection, right? So that's something I'll watch this week to see what AMD does. And it might not even make it out of this line, out of this green line. And it looks like, it started reversing a little bit on 30 minutes. And if that's the case, then, you have the previous week value area high at 68. That's $4 down. I'm sorry, here. You have previous week here, POC, we already broke it. So depending on where we open, if we open above it, it might be an 80% rule that drives it. And this POC here looks really skinny, right? Because it's P-shaped. So it might be testing this level here or even this VPOC at 67. Then you have another VPOC at 60. I think that's the last one. Yep. But they accumulated for a very long time here. I mean, in terms of number of days. So you're looking at what is that? 34 days they've been in this area accumulating, and then you get a nice little pop. So eventually what they could do is they could drive this all the way to 60, which is the value area high of that consolidation, to make sure retest happens. So 72 to 60 is not bad. Okay. Amazon, same concept. So if you guys look at a lot of these charts, when you look at tech, they'll look fairly similar. Look at this. Support, 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 flip. Well, what are we doing now? I mean, think about it. This ran over 20%, guys. Oh, 17% already ran from the lows of 85s. So, I mean, if they had started buying here, which seems like they certainly did, this would be the POC where it's coming back about $90 here. So it might be a good short here coming up. If we can go below 99.8, I would definitely look short here. And you guys see here on this sell-off, your trigger for puts is right here. Man, this cough is the most annoying thing ever. Okay, so that's something to watch for in Amazon, right? Hopefully you guys caught that one. Tesla, same thing. So if you guys zoom out on Tesla, right? How many retailers saw a pattern here? Probably every single one of them, right? Head and shoulders, you had it, you broke it. And Tesla might be coming back here for a retest, right? So it might be coming back to this resistance. You know, we know that, you know, the even number, the 200 is right there. I am thinking more about the 61.8 or 50% first. And if they hop over that, this is going to be a pretty nice rejection here. So this is the sell-off POC here. Excuse me. And then you could make this where it triggers a little bit higher, which would be the 225. So that's something to kind of watch out for. These are the two areas, depending on how the market moves, right? And if you guys see the weakness is coming, let's say as we're approaching 200, the candles, the volume, and we're right at the 50%, that's a good entry to enter. But, you know, ideally, if they run this up, it'd be 215 or 225. Okay. I think I did NVIDIA as well. NVIDIA has earnings, right? So we're approaching the 178 on NVIDIA, and I'll be interested in shorting here. So let's see how the ER does. I believe it's on Wednesday, 16th November. Yeah, Wednesday. They got the ER. So I'm really not going to play it or trade it at all. Leave it alone for now. CAT. So if you guys looked at CAT here on the weekly, let's see, let me remove this. So this is CAT, right? And you guys, some of you guys wondered, like, why was I selling the shares that I got, you know, at 170s or so? Well, mainly because of this reason right here, because we're approaching, you know, the top of the resistance here. There's the indecision doji, and that's where we sold off from. And if you go here, you know, this is our demand here. So this is where I'm selling. And if I started buying here at 170s, I mean, we already made some good money and I'm all out. But this is a good opportunity here to potentially short it, right? So if you guys look at the volume profile on it, you have the value area high. So if you're not confident shorting at the top here, that's okay, right? You can short it right below the 228.5, and then you can enjoy potentially all the way to about 185, which would be good. So I would definitely play this and watch this for a really, really good setup, because when you look at the naked trading on it, right here, if you guys look at it, so lower highs, this takes out the high, but then this high here was pretty good, right? So if you guys look at this, follow this high right here. So it broke this high, but it also at the same time was breaking the previous low from here. And now you're driving this above it. Same pattern that they did here. So for instance, from here, you know, this low never broke, this supply never broke it, but eventually it drove here from this supply. So now they peaked above this liquidity here. And if they're able to get in inside of it, you know, your actually target would be all the way to the bottom here, which would be somewhere around 160 from this range. And just fundamentally, I don't think there's much for Caterpillar now, considering the economy is slowing down. I don't know how many builders are going to be interested in building if there's no demand for buying houses with 7-8% interest rates. So that's something I'm looking at for probably like January, February swing, probably February, like 180, 185 puts on Caterpillar. What else did I have? Google. So on Google here, pretty good pattern that they might execute here. If they're able to get over this value area low, which would be a tough number, 100, They might set up a trap for a lot of retailers because it looks like it's kind of like a fall here. I didn't draw it so good, but it looks like a falling wedge, and it might look like, hey, we're gonna break this falling wedge, and then they run into this POC here at 115, which would be great. I'd probably get rid of some shares right there as well. But at first, we got to get over 100. If we break the 100, that would be really, really good for upside to 115. So that's something I'm watching. Rejection at 100 or over, come back for retest, and then take it to 115. Okay. Any other tickers you guys are interested in?
You look at shop, please, or target.
Oh man, this looks ready to be shorted. Yeah, this looks pretty good for. Yeah, this is almost there for shorting. Yeah. So I would definitely probably look at some puts soon here. Let's see the 4 hours. So they had some buying. They had this retest here. They had a retest here, acceptance of this area. Ideally, if they can push this to like 42.5, that'd be a great entry for puts, but not a bad idea to start scaling into some puts here on shop. I just don't see a lot of, I see buying here once they dipped it, but I don't see a lot of buying here on the top. Like even this candle here, if you guys look at it, that's a giant candle with a little bit of effort from volume. And then
Yeah,
this
look at that one. Yeah.
Like if you compare the two, if you compare the two candles, like between this one and this one, I mean, it just doesn't make sense. I don't think they're buying this. We're below the average here on volume as well. Weekly, we finished with probably the biggest body of all of the bodies, and it is the second lowest volume of the consolidation here. Or third maybe between these two. So yeah, I think I'll be ready to short here unless we break this out, break the top of 45, come back for a retest. Otherwise, yeah, I don't see how. I wouldn't be looking to go long. MU, well, there goes MU. So it looks like MU bounced right off of this demand zone here that we had identified at 50. Pop there, and I would think that it's gonna go to this level that we had as previous support. I think that's what the picture was showing us. If you were to look at it here. So this was your previous support. You came back here for the retest, and now let's see how they do. The volume is really dying down as they're approaching this top level here. So let's see how well did they. I don't see chips making comeback just yet. I think it'll take some more time to get it to come back, Bridget. Unless you're playing shares, then that's a different story. But it could be pushing 71, and here is an easy short. I would say right here would be super easy short for me, at least $71 even. So I would keep an eye on that. And yeah, I'm sure if AMAT and NVIDIA have bad ER, they'll drag these along. Okay, let's see, HD. Yep, so now, okay, so what is this here? If this is, earlier we saw a strong high, what is this one here?
Weak.
Yeah, it's pretty weak. So this one wasn't able to break the structure here, create a new low. So there's a chance, I don't know when they have ER. They're coming up. I just don't like this volume here. Well, this one here, maybe somehow I could agree with. This one also agree with, but as you're going up, you're slowing down. And I would say that you're hitting, you hit this support here and you broke it. So if you're able to hold this level, let's call it 308.5.
Home Depot reports on Tuesday before open.
This Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch it. I'm sorry. I don't play ER, guys.
Walmart is Tuesday before open as well.
Yeah, and
Target
that's big.
Wednesday.
Yeah, that's big, guys, for retail. Because if they see the retail slowing down, it's just that it's inverse now. Because they see stuff slowing down, they're happy with the interest rates slowing down as well. If they see that these are making money and booming, then they got to keep interest rates going. So it's a little bit of a trick, how they can decipher and push the markets up or down.
Yeah, Lowe's is this week too. You get all the retailers, so it could be interesting.
Yeah. Lowe's is, it hit some of the levels that we had here. I watched it the other day. Ideally, I want the shares at 160 here. I just think they're forming liquidity here. It just looks like a straight up liquidity grabs everywhere. Look at this. Tap, tap, now go to the bottom and then eventually break it and go to 160. Yeah, 3996. So if you guys look at your weeklies, look at your weeklies right here. And just grab the 3 weeks balance. Just take a look at it. You see here, when we came in, we rejected twice, came under, rejected, you broke it. So for me, like the 3900 level will be super important because of this. And we also have this. And then you have the 3996, which is going to be a key level for upside, actually. If they're able to kind of hop over this level here, 3997, 3996, high chance we go higher. But I'm leaning a little bit bearish, actually, that we might even, go towards the PD value area low here soon, and maybe tomorrow, and execute the 80% rule. All right, well, I'll be live tomorrow, guys. I'll be trading with you guys. Let's see what we can do. I just have to get this cough under the control because it's been all day.
Yeah, man. Take care of yourself, Shorty.
So
Thank you, brother.
and I'll probably be short overnight. I'm looking to short few contracts at this level here. Now, if we push it back to PD value area high, I'll have a short position and my exit will be at the bottom here. So that's what I'm going to enter before I sign off. Sorry for a short watch list. I just can't. My throat's just on fire.
Hey, man. Go take care of yourself. We'll talk to you in the morning, buddy.
Appreciate it, Shorty. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you much, bro.
All right, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a good night.
Thank you, Shorty.
Yeah, sequence is jumping on if you guys want to hang out and loiter and watch some Bookmap stuff.
Which one?
Hello.
Make sure you close all your stuff you don't want people to see from your browser history before you share.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Take me a while to clear all that out. Yeah. Hello. All right. Dumpster, you there? I don't think he's there. All right. We'll get started in just a few minutes.
I'm back. Just grabbing water.
Yeah, we're going to get started here in a minute. Are you recording there, Dumpster?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. So can you see my screen here?
Yep.
Okay. Should just be showing
Let her rip.
Bookmap. Yeah. So yeah, everybody just we're gonna get going on this Bookmap thing. We're just gonna cover a few general things on it, I guess, just kind of an overview of what it is, I guess, because we're still learning a lot about it too. So, but it's just it's a tool that you can add to your arsenal here. It's really good, really nice addition. You can get a lot of information from these levels and what you can see on this little chart here. So just a moment here. I'm actually gonna go and fix my settings. Dumpster, do you want to try to talk about how you set this up?
For
Maybe?
sure.
That'd be good to have recorded.
Yep. All right. So as you can see, this is TOS. This is the quote unquote freeware version of this, the trial version. And to get this, you'd open up a support ticket with the Thinkorswim people. So basically, it's just at the top right is usually what I do. I just click in there and send them a text or, hey, can you set up Bookmap? like it's basic, pure, simple, and they understand usually what you're talking about. And then, as you can see towards the top left, it has like the flex grid, charts, and product depth, and then Bookmap is a little button up top. Yeah, see right there. And that's going to be where it is. Like if you wanted to click on this flex grid, whatever, it would just jump back and forth. And generally with this, what I do is I'll open multiple sessions of TOS. So this one's running on its own application. Because as you can imagine, as this thing gets more and more finite, you see how he's zooming in, zooming out. Like you can go down to like the 1 second level and watch these things just pop all over the place. Like it's pretty mundane and slow right now, but during the normal business day, it's these things are going like crazy. There's just so much more volume during the day.
Yeah, pretty cool. So yeah, he was saying you go to the. I didn't do it, but I did it through going through this support, I believe. I don't know if you can see that on the screen, but
Yep.
Okay, yeah, the pop up that came up. So yeah, you
Oh
can.
no, you can't see that support
okay,
window,
yeah, no.
but you can see that the button's
Okay.
up to the top right.
Yeah. So the button at the right up here, I think it's support, right? That you go to, and then you can chat with them or whatever.
Yep.
And it took me like I set it up like 6 months ago or something. Now I forgot, but
it took like 5 minutes for me.
Yeah. And I don't even know. Do you know if it has to be funded or whatever? Because my TOS accounts, I don't even use, which you guys know probably. But I actually get it still, so I don't know. Like I withdrew the money from this one. I don't know, same time frame probably. So there's literally nothing in these accounts. So, but it still works for me. I don't know if you can get it if it's not funded. I don't know because I think I had funds in there at the time. But yeah, I don't know. That's probably something we'd have to research. I don't know if we know that answer, but anyway. So yeah,
sure.
you can just get it added to your stuff here, and it's free. So. I wonder if I can go back and show you like the
sequence. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, man. I just stepped in.
Yeah, man.
What do? You just kind of call and ask for it?
No, you don't even have to call. If you go to the support at the top, like the chat or whatever,
Yes.
the very top of your TOS screen, you can actually just chat with them directly in the client, and you just ask them. You say, "Hey, I'd like to try out the free." I heard you guys have like a free Bookmap implementation or integration or something like that, and they'll say, "I want to try it out," and they'll give you the free version. They'll just add it to your TOS, and you just restart it, and it shows up.
Okay, and I guess my second question is, what's the benefit of having it?
Yeah, so we're gonna cover all that in just a minute.
My bad.
No, you're good, man. That's good. That's a great question. Like we're gonna cover it to the best of our ability. We're still learning it too, but I mean it's really cool. We'll go through all that stuff in just a few minutes, but
Okay.
yeah, no worries. Good question. But one thing I wanted to say to you is I wanted to show you when you first start the free version. I may have to reload it or something like that. Let me actually do that now. I'm going to stop streaming for just a minute, just so I can reload it and see if I can see. I think it'll show me. Give me just a moment here, everybody. I'm actually going to reopen TOS and everything, so I can. I want to show you what it shows you when you actually first open it, just so you're familiar. Give me just a moment here. Reopen it. Of course, it takes like 10 minutes to load. Not really. So a couple minutes, we'll have it open again for you. But here we go. Yeah, okay. Hopefully you guys can't see me typing in my password and everything. Dumpster fire 123.
Mine's password 123.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's easier to remember.
I know, right? Hard to guess. Kills the algos. Here we go. So I got it now. Here we go. Let me restream. TOS. Where we at? Okay. That was the wrong one. Sorry, I was streaming the wrong thing. There we go. Rejoin now. Sorry if I broke you guys out. Whatever. About that. Sorry. Let's see. Oh, you're still joined. Okay. Cool. All right. So you can see my screen now, I think. So when you first get it, tell me if you can't see my screen. If anybody has any problems.
You're good.
But, okay. Yeah. So when you first get it and you open it up, you're going to see your normal. Say if you're in your charts or whatever. When you click over, you'll see this new Bookmap tab up here, which was Dumpster was telling you guys about. Underneath your little menu here, your options and everything, tools. Just click on it and you'll see this screen pop up. This is just like the free version, I guess. They're kind of showing you you get basically 3 symbols usually. I don't know if they change them up. These are the same ones I remember seeing from before too. I think they had Apple and Microsoft.
Yeah, these are the trial ones or whatever. But like,
Yeah.
if you guys actually ponied up and paid for this on a monthly basis, you can get the order book for every ticker.
Yeah, you can do anything then. But yeah, just a note to you there that you can pay for this through TOS also. Bookmap has its own product, but it's actually integrated into TOS, and that version that's integrated has like a few less features. They're not huge features, but I mean, you can't do like custom integrations and whatever they use, like their own custom indicators and stuff like that.
Yeah, the custom indicators and that stuff. Like if
But-
you guys go out to Bookmap on YouTube, they have like millions and millions and millions of hours of content out there.
Yeah.
They live stream constantly throughout the week.
Yeah,
and
it's great.
It's like every day is like 2 hours worth of live stream that they put up there. So there's incredible amounts of content on it. This is, our little, training, quote unquote, here is just kind of showing you guys how to set it up and use it.
Yeah. So yeah, this is these are the three you get here, and I think the TOS integrations are like $30 or something like that, or is it?
I don't know. I just use it for ES. So
yeah. So that's one of the big things I want to show you here is that like when you can choose any of these, but you can try for free, and ES is actually on here, which is cool because that's really the only thing you can.
Yeah, it's like 90% of everything that we trade.
90% of what you're doing anyway. So yeah, but let me get back in here and make it look a little decent again. So when you click on in that try for free, it's going to bring you back in. One thing I wanted to point out here that I ran into also is with this free version for me anyway, it doesn't save my settings. So I have to actually go back in, and you probably can't see my pop-up. It saved it that last time. That was weird. But a few times there, it didn't actually even save my settings for me. So I don't know. Did you have that problem, Dumpster? Have you tried to reopen it or anything?
A couple times it has reset them for me, but then a lot of the times it doesn't. Like tonight it didn't.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, this time it didn't for me. Maybe they've changed. I don't know. Maybe they fixed something. So we're gonna. If you guys don't have any questions, we'll get into kind of the overview.
Yeah, just show them how to, how to resize. On the y-axis and on the x-axis. That's important.
Yeah.
Showing the different time frames of everything.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, you have when you first load it, it's going to look a little janky. There's a few custom settings that I've changed here, but you'll have the general same kind of layout and everything here that you see on mine mostly. But yeah, to scroll in and out like width, on the x-axis, you would just scroll the mouse wheel in the chart area. You can do
and
that.
Like if you see at the bottom, you see how those numbers are increasing or decreasing. Like right there is 5-minute blocks.
Yeah.
Like you can get all the way down to like 5, 10 seconds, 1 second. And like the orders that you see there, the balls, they, expand or contract based on the time frame that you're at as well.
Yeah. So as I zoom in, you'll see it go down to a minute here. And it's a little wacky to look at. And let me actually turn on the candlesticks. That might make it easier to look at for everybody for just a few minutes. Because you can turn those on and off also. I'm in my settings now, and you may not be able to see that, but one of the things you can turn on and off in the settings, which is this little button here, studies configuration, is actually the candlestick itself. So as I scroll out here, and it'll automatically dynamically resize to these are 5-minute candles now. So, well, not dynamically resize, but the time frame itself is it's showing you the width of it is, what I'm trying to say. It's the width of it is the time period is like 15 minutes right now, what we're looking at. And these are the candles that are within that time frame. So as we zoom in and out, you can actually set the candlestick time frame too, I think, right? Can you do that? Let's make sure. Again, you can't see my settings, but see if I can do that. Can you change the candlestick time frame? Thought you could. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so in the settings, I know you can't see my screen right now, my settings screen, but there's actually an interval on the candlesticks, and it's set to 1 minute right now. So that's what my candlesticks are. So I can make those like 5 minutes, and as you can see, it just changed there. So that makes a little more sense now for everybody. So if I zoom out now, you can see.
Can you
5 minutes? Yep.
Can you reshare on like a monitor as opposed to the app so you can actually see the settings? I think that would be beneficial.
Yeah, let's try
There's
that.
like 8 million freaking settings in this damn thing.
You know what? Give me a second. Yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna flip it over to this monitor. Let me try that. Hold on. Okay, so share. Change. There it is. Change windows. I didn't even know you could do that. That's cool. Okay, so screens. Screen 2. Okay, try this. All right, let's try that. Can you see that now? I mean, it should be looks.
Yeah, we can see the pop-ups and everything now, so that's good. Yeah,
all right,
much better.
good. Cool. So there you go. So if you could, these are the settings that I just clicked on. Again, it's this edit studies configuration button right here. When you click that, these are all the different. These are basically the studies that you can use on TOS's integration. Again, the full Bookmap version has like a lot more studies you can use and custom studies and things, but nothing too fancy. I don't think. I think they do have a few cool indicators, but the Bookmap standalone version is much more expensive than this one, obviously. But yeah, here you can actually see the candlesticks. If you click on that, you can turn them on and off right here. You'll see them appear and disappear. And you can change the interval right here. So that's where I just noticed that a few moments ago. You can go all the way down to 5-second interval candlesticks if you want. So that's probably going to look a little crazy, but let's look at that. So I just selected 5 seconds. So you can zoom in like really close here. I mean, you're watching, you can see the time going by. You can see the candles being formed there over 5-second periods. But these are very small candles, obviously, because the market's not doing anything spectacular right now. There's no volume really. So during the day, this would be just going crazy if you zoomed in this far. So let me turn this down a little bit real quick so you can see. There we go. So I know you guys don't know what these levels are and everything just yet, but so I just want to show you the candlesticks. Let me make them a better setting here to something like a minute or something, make it a little better looking. So yeah, these are the settings, and I usually actually, as you saw when I opened it, I turn off the candlesticks usually because realistically, what you're looking at here is when you zoom in, you're going to get as close as you want anyway. So I'm looking at minute. These bars are all the minute intervals right now, so you can kind of see where you're at anyway in time. So you'll end up zooming in and out on this thing like constantly. That's what I do anyway. So as I'm looking at this throughout the day, I'll be doing this all day.
And once again, to mouse wheel, it'll expand or contract the x-axis, which is the time.
Yeah.
And then in order to do the y-axis, you actually have to go over there, grab it, and drag. And
you can do the mouse wheel here too, though. You can do the mouse wheel here too.
If you hover over it, you can mouse wheel.
Yeah. So that you can click and drag like that. I do notice that like it zooms in really fast sometimes for me. I don't know why. And I have to zoom it out slowly. That. Yeah.
So feature of TOS.
Yeah. So that's how you zoom in and out. And you don't really adjust any other time frames other than if you want to see the candles or when you zoom on Bookmap. So I think that's
do you want to get into the orders on the right and the difference between, I guess, what you see over there or the limits and et cetera, and then I guess the heat map bars is the other important thing here.
Yeah. So let me point this out too real quick. So back in the settings, just real quick. I know I got off topic here, but you can actually go into the heat map settings too. You have some of these little sliders up here that kind of adjust the settings. That you can also adjust right here. What you're seeing there, I'm just going to kind of explain that real quick. Is in this top setting here, it's like a contrast looking button, which it is actually, it's called contrast, of course. It's a black cutoff, as they say. And what you're doing here is you're changing the contrast on the orders that you're looking at on your actual chart. So you're basically saying if you turn it to a lower level, we got to talk about orders and levels and everything like that. But if you turn it down like this, what you're seeing here are more orders, technically, kind of less amount or like smaller amounts of limit orders, and it appears in a heat map form. So let me talk about the levels now because it kind of transitions into that. I guess it makes a little more sense. What you're looking at on the heat map itself, ignoring the bubbles for a moment, and in this profile over here, you're looking at the actual limit orders in the book. So on the bottom, you'll see all these levels down here that are really like, heat map, general heat map. It's hotter. You can say at a certain level, which right here on ES, there's a 3980. You can actually zoom in here and get that a better level. But yeah, so you can see like 3982 right there. There's 146 orders sitting there on ES right now. You just come down here and you see how it's red. You come down to 3980. There's a couple of key levels. They're just solid, whole dollar amounts. 137 orders sitting there at 3980 right now, and those are limit orders. So I just want to emphasize that these are limit orders on the bid side. So those basically buyers sitting there saying, okay, well, 146 orders at this level, that sounds good, for ES. So and that's just for that level, that one level. So as you can see, it juts out, and it's showing you how many there are at that level based on the profile itself too.
And
so
you see how the orange right where you're at, it went from orange to blue at like the 3984 level. Basically anything to the left of the current time is history. So somebody had a lot of limit orders sitting there up until the point where they pulled them off. So that's where Shorty's always talking about ghost orders or whatever. Like you'll see it during the day. You'll see them like have a stack of orders and the price approaching that, and then you can watch as they pull the orders off the book.
Because and just to add to that, you'll see throughout the day, again, this is barely moving right now because there's no volume, but during the actual trading day, this is going nuts. I mean, it's crazy how fast this stuff moves and these bubbles grow and stuff, and these levels move. But you can start to see these limit orders pop up and move, like Dunster and just saying, and Shorty even mentions. You can see like you'll have these. We were talking Friday, I think, on it about how they had this wall, at a certain level, and it was I don't even know, 800 contracts or something like that, or 900 and something, and you could see the price has come up to it and start pounding on it, and the buyers hitting it, and it never actually broke. I don't think at that point, but you could see that it went down. You could watch the number go down up here from like 950 to like 800 or something like that, and then it would just shoot right back up to 950 because somebody had a wall there. They're just holding it there. And then you can just watch as it moves. You can see it drop from like 900 orders to 0 in like 0.1 seconds, and the whole thing just shoots up in price.
I got a video of that on Tuesday, them destroying that wall.
Wait, do I even have that? Did I get that? I mean,
I'll reping it. I'll find the time and reping it to you.
Yeah, let me know. Or, just post it in main chat or whatever you want to do. That'd be good too. Just do that for us if you got that, and then that'd be great because you can time it, and then you can actually see what I'm talking about there. It was crazy. You could just see I'm pounding on it, and then it wouldn't break. It looked like it's not breaking, so then they just move it and it shoots up. So I think that's trapping, to me, that's trapping a lot of shorts there, trying, oh, they're not going to break this wall, I'm going short. Right after they do that, obviously, they move that wall themselves, and the price shoots up. They've bought all these contracts and they sell. So, and then all the short sell, this people going short there are kind of out of luck. So anyway, you can kind of start catching on to that stuff. And this kind of thing I've noticed, again, we're still learning this ourselves. It's, as you watch this throughout the day, you really start catching a lot of little nuances in the movements. And that's kind of key to like the price action itself. When you're trading that way, you can kind of start seeing these orders and stuff flowing. That's what it's about, is order flow. So, so just going back to this real quick, on the bottom is the limit orders again for the bid. And on the top of the current price, obviously you've got this spread here, slight small spread on ES. You got the what am I saying? Not the bid, the ask. Orders on the ask. So these are selling orders. So it's to sell limit orders. So same thing as you see down here for the bid. On the ask side, you have selling limit orders sitting here. So again, at like the 4,000 level, you see right now there's only 97 contracts. But I mean, that's quite a lot for this current volume, or this current amount of limit orders that exist on the book. So that's why it appears to be like a red-orange color. So throughout the day, with 97, I mean, you probably wouldn't see like this. It looks kind of serious right now. But it would, you might see more blue in that case. So back to the heat map again. The blue itself and the black color, that's less limit orders. So the hotter it is, the more limit orders you have sitting there on the book at a price, and the less, hot it is, or the colder it is, I guess, the smaller amount of limit orders you have. So if it's black, and again, it's kind of dependent on where you set this contrast, but you'll kind of play with that throughout the day too. I do anyway. I do this constantly, adjustments, because you'll have smaller periods of volume where you won't actually want to see, or you won't see as many things or whatever, as many contracts coming in like that. But so you'll want to see it like certain ways at certain times. So that's just how it is. Just a moment.
I just DM'd you that.
Okay.
And you can see him eating the wall at about 3.5 minutes.
Oh, nice. All right, cool.
Question sequence. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
What applications is you're using for the Bookmap?
Yeah, so it's actually built into TOS. So it's Thinkorswim from TD Ameritrade. You're familiar with Thinkorswim?
No, I'm new
Okay.
to this. And is that something that you use like a brokerage?
Yeah. So TD Ameritrade, they have their own product. It's Thinkorswim is what it's called. And that's what we're looking at here on the screen right now.
Okay, thank you.
Seek, do you want to show them as well? You can right click on the right side over there and add in like time and sale and that kind of stuff. Like if you right click on the access, there you go. So you have all kinds of column configurations over here as well.
So you can add in like your time and sale information and everything like that. That's always great to look at too, you know, as the orders coming in the book.
Yeah, we set it to like on Friday we were watching it and watching people drop like 1,400 size orders.
Yeah,
at the end of the day,
it
was some crazy amount of money inflowing,
right?
Especially at close.
So that's pretty. I mean, yeah, there's several little things you can add in. Again, it's not as fully featured as the full Bookmap software, but it's much more expensive. It's really. I looked it up a while back, and I haven't looked it up since. But it gets pretty costly. But for just using this, it's a really good resource, especially free. So.
Yeah, and basically what I use this for is just Confluence, and you can see as well. Like I usually put it right next to my TradingView chart or whatever, and just kind of watch them both at the same time, and you can see how this plays off of the levels that we have, and you can see them coming into the onto the tape with the not onto the tape, but into the Bookmap here. You'll see the bunch of market orders happening at certain levels they're executing, so you can see them defending levels and whatnot. You can see like the larger balls appearing or whatever, depending on how size you have them or whatever, how you have them cut off, and then you can really tell. You see the selling or see the buying happen pretty much in real time.
Yeah, so that's just to mention the balls, what you're seeing there. Did you say what these are? I don't know if Dumpster said this or not in here, but those are actually market orders. So as time goes on here, what you're seeing, just by the way, too, I know I'm jumping around a little bit, but to move this chart, you have to actually click on this little hand, and then you can drag it wherever you want it. So if you click on it like that, you can move it, and you can move it up and down and everything like that too. So it's just a little weird. If you uncheck it, it kind of flows with time and just kind of slowly moves, which is kind of what you do most of the time. But if you have to, I find that if I have to drag it up or down or something throughout the day, I have to actually click that and move it around a little bit.
Yeah, and the up and down, click and show them that option. This was the pain in my ass. Like I couldn't figure this out for like 2 days, and it drove me crazy.
Yeah, so it's not actually doing it right now for some reason. I don't know if there's just not enough data.
No, you got to right click and then do the resender settings or whatever. Yeah, that one.
And what is it? The
none.
Yeah.
Set it to that, and then you can move it up and down, or else it keeps the damn thing in the center, and you can't see your top limits for things. So this is really important.
Right. Yeah. So do that
first. It's very hidden. So.
Yeah, like mine had reset here and I forgot about it. So yeah, it's a good tip because the recenter settings is set it to none. And that way when you click the hand, it does actually drag up and down. See? So but if throughout the day, if time's like flowing in your chart, it'll end up like this. Sometimes like off, the price will be up here. And you're like, where in the heck is the price? And then you have to actually click it and drag it like this and then re-click it again so it starts flowing with time again. So yeah, that's kind of the rub there. But it's not too bad. Once you get used to it, you can kind of start. You just do it, you just, it's like TradingView or anything else. You just get used to handling it. So whenever I click this again, kind of like I recenter it and I click this again, you can see I just pop back. Well, I can't move it up and down anymore, but I can still zoom in and out. But now it's recentered. So that's all I really needed. This is real time again. So, let me move this down. But yeah, the bubbles again, real quick. I know I didn't finish that. So they're market orders that are happening in real time. So you can see here, like at this level, it's 39.85 level here. It was orange, and then it got kind of red. There were limit orders here building up as the price came down. So if you look back here in time, so we're looking at 10, 15, or 9, I don't know, some odd 15 minutes, 20 minutes ago or something like that. The price was up here at 39.95. and it hit a little resistance, whatever it was here. If some market orders brought it down, you can see the bubbles change to like an orange color. You can change these colors, by the way. These orange bubbles brought it down. These are market orders hitting the price. These aren't limit orders. So what you're seeing here are real-time orders coming in. You can see it got down here. These limit order opened up here a little bit at 39.90, and they got right here. The price hit it, and this bubble popped. It didn't pop. I mean, the buyers basically ended up buying here, and it shot the price back up a little bit. But what you're seeing here are the market orders. So you have the bid side and the ask side, or the bid and the ask side. So typically there's buying and selling.
If you hover over top of it, you can see what it is or whatever.
Yeah. So if you hover over them, they'll show you the volume and everything like that, time and date. So you can see like that was like 5 volume, 5 orders right there, market orders that came in. Here there were like, a lot more, 320 market orders popped right there. Yeah. So, it
basically,
hit.
Yep. Basically Bookmap just visualizes what's going on in the order book.
Yep. That's it. That's all it's doing.
Yeah.
So your orders that are flowing in, it's what it's showing in real time as they happen. So one thing I do want to note about the volume bubbles too is that you can actually change a lot of the settings for that. So if you go down to volume dots, a couple of the things you'll want to play around with is the clustering here, because by default I think it's set to smart, and smart clustering it's fine, if you want to use it that way. I don't exactly know what it's doing. It does. I mean, it changes how it calculates the bubbles that you see based on the volume that you're wanting to see at the same time in each bubble. So what I like to do is just go by volume, and I change it to something like right now I'm looking at a very low clustering volume because we don't have any volume. But throughout the day I would have something higher, myself. And then minimum displayed volume is if you don't want to see certain bubbles below a certain volume threshold, you can set that, and it won't show you certain. It won't show you those order bubbles coming in. But I just wanted to note that. So you can actually play with those settings, and it'll change how you see these bubbles at the same time. So you won't see, if you set it to only show me 50 volume bubbles that happen at a certain price or a market, like an order that comes in, then you won't see any volume that's less than a 50 order pop up on your screen. It's very handy. But right now I've got it set lower, obviously, because it's not a lot going on. So
sorry, but how did you get to the studies section? I mean, where the settings section.
Yeah, so at the top here, the Bookmap window itself, you'll see this little, I don't even know what that is, like a microphone, not a microphone, a magnifying glass or microscope something. Yeah, microscope or something. It's hard to see. But yeah, right here on the third button from the left, you can click that and it'll take you to your settings.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Yep, they're in the settings over here, and you see volume dots or whatever you want to look at. And you get like VWAP, and there's some other stuff in here too. But yeah, that's
and if you really feel like it, you can draw on here too. It's kind of pointless.
It's a little janky.
You can change that, and like if you hold the center mouse button, it'll draw that crap too. So you just hold center mouse button, and, like draw a line.
Yeah. You have to be in drawing mode or something like that, right?
Yeah, I don't really ever do it. Just know that you can if you really want.
Yeah, so you can do like the line here. Yeah, so like that. As I said, the center mouse button. So you can do, and you can click and like you can click and left mouse drag too. So if you wanted to do something with, I'm just drawing crazy lines, but I don't even remember how to get rid of these. Do you remember how to get rid of these?
Right click, or you click on the pen again and delete.
Okay. All right, we're gonna get out of that mode.
Yeah, just
I think that's what it was right now. Delete it.
No, right click on the and then
clear drawings.
Yeah, that one.
There we go. Okay, cool. So yeah, you can draw your lines and stuff like that if you really want to, which is it's not actually a terrible idea if this is what you're staring at, which I've found recently that I've really been watching this more so than anything else. But like Dumpster was saying, if you watch it along with your charts, I mean, it's so helpful. You can see it kind of, for me, it gives me a lot more confidence.
Do you have
thinking?
Good, like you're sharing the one screen or whatever. Pop open or pop over to the DM. Open up that.
Yeah, I got that. Is this the right one? I had this one on my.
Yeah, that one. And then it's like right at about 3.5 minutes. You can see it eat it.
Is that it? I think
so. You can see that limit order right there, or you can see the bar and then
30. So yeah, there's that. So you can see right here. I don't know how hard this is to see, but I'm showing a video from from last Friday or something.
Tuesday or something. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, November 8th. Yeah. So yeah, you can see this giant wall right here at this price, this 38.59.75. There's 428 orders sitting there. Let's see what happens with it, because I can't remember exactly what happened, but you can see these. Yeah, look at that. See, it just disappeared. I mean, that one looked like it was bought. So if you look, there were just if you hover over it, look at that. So like 735 market orders popped in right there to break that level. So that one looked like it was actually bought, but sometimes you can actually see it where they don't actually even buy the full amount. And that's just usually like, I don't remember which one it was. We watched, I think this one was last Friday or something. There were like 800, 900 orders at a certain level, like 633 up here. Look at that. So it just moved. Like they didn't even, the volume didn't shoot up here. You can see this volume was super high. So somebody actually bought these to move this level out of the way. But yeah, that one day, it was just like, you could see them move the level just to move it higher themselves. It was crazy. So you start to catch on to stuff like that. That's what I've noticed recently. So again, we're still learning it too, but.
And you can follow along, like I said, with your trading view chart, and you can see how they adhere to those levels. Like you can see them battling and fighting for the different levels that we mark, and Shorty covers constantly. So
Yep. So yeah,
interesting.
It's great. So if you go through and mark your, like I'll put my weekly POCs on there on my trading view charts, and I don't know if I have. I don't have it up right now, but yeah, I'll put my weekly levels and everything, and then I'm watching that on my trading view chart right beside this, and it makes it so much easier and more confidence just to see, if I see a giant, it doesn't fill me with full confidence because obviously that wall can move, if I see a giant level sitting somewhere, but it gives me more confidence when I'm sitting here thinking, okay, well, we've approached this level before, this wall didn't move, you know what I mean? If we've retesting or if I think this is going to bounce here, even if it's, whatever, then it may give me a certain, amount of confidence in taking a longer position or something, it just, you kind of flows into how you trade. And that's something I've noticed is it's a really good tool to have, which I've been staring at this a lot lately, it's becoming really cool for me. But yeah, I think we've all started using it a lot more recently. So yeah, do you have anything else you wanted to discuss there, Dumpster? About
no, like I said, this is pretty basic. I wasn't going to get into any order book stuff. There's hours and hours and hours of content on Bookmap's site if you want to understand more about that or the order book itself.
Yeah.
Basically when you refer to it, this is your level 3, correct? This is as deep as it shows your market depth in here that you normally wouldn't get.
Yeah, I mean, it's as deep as you can get. This is all you're ever going to see. You're not going to get more than this unless you're hooked into the matrix.
Yeah. Does anybody have questions?
Yeah, and this might be just related towards basic Thinkorswim setting or even my computer settings, but
from when Shorty was presenting.
Hold on. I don't know if you can hear. Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, Seth. Hold on. I don't think Dumpster had you. Okay, I think we're good now. Go ahead.
I don't know if it's just Thinkorswim setting or computer, but your visual is a lot more tighter, dense. Mine is it's almost like it's zoomed in. Like even my Bookmap is real big on my screen. Is there any way I can shrink mine down to kind of get more info like I see on your display screen?
So yeah, well, it could be a couple things there. It depends. What size is your screen? What are you using for your main screen there?
Basic laptop, probably about 19-inch.
Okay, so yeah, that's this is actually, well, you're gonna get a different look on this one. This is streaming from right now I've got it on a 27-inch monitor, so it's gonna look everything's just a little bit smaller on my screen technically than it is on yours probably, because there's just more pixels in each, it's on the monitor itself. So, and you can zoom in more on this the best you can. I don't know a whole lot you can do. I don't know if anybody else has any tips on that, but for a smaller screen. Because again, this one's up on a 27-inch screen right now. Yeah, so I'm assuming if you did it, it would be, if I resize mine. But so are you saying the whole thing is this smaller like this, or is it like a
even as you shrink it down, see how Bookmap is still so small. I'm thinking it is probably something on my display. I don't know if it'd be Windows setting or the application.
Drag the right axis or whatever, to make it a little bit bigger. That's normally what I do to zoom in to make the y-axis.
Yeah, I think you just have to play with it, man. I can't. I don't know for sure exactly what else might be going on if it's something, but yeah, you can zoom in pretty good on Bookmap. You're going to do that anyway usually. So I don't
Right.
know a whole
Because
lot
you
of
can get it
stuff.
down all the way to the quarter, you
Yeah.
know, and you can get it down to like, what is it, like
Yeah, it's pretty small.
1
You can
second
go,
chart. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you can
Yeah,
get
like I said,
pretty,
I don't know if it's
really close.
a Thinkorswim setting. It might be. Hell, it might just be even like screen display setting under Windows that I need to tinker with.
It may be. I mean, it may be. I know, in Windows you do have like your magnification settings. Even I know that gets messed up. That could get messed up, and that could make it like 120% or something. I don't. Everything may just be bigger than it needs to be. I don't know if it really affects like this kind of thing, but it may. I mean, I would just. Yeah, I don't know.
I just want to make sure I ain't on no old people setting yet. I ain't that old. I don't need it that big.
Right, man. No, I get that. Yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah. Maybe somebody else has some tips too. If you're asking main chat, maybe I don't know if somebody else may be dealing with the same sort of thing, So yeah, that's unfortunately I don't have a good answer for that one though. Yeah, does anybody else have any other questions, or you got anything else you guys want to go over? Or again, we're still learning this ourselves, so we're giving you everything we have, information wise that we've learned so far, and as far as the setup goes and how you can use this, to integrate in your stuff. So if you guys have specific questions, feel free to ask us, anytime in main chat or whatever. Totally fine.
Quick question.
Yeah.
For the futures you guys play, do you guys know you just buy straight up in the for the limit order and not contracts?
Right. Well, yeah. You don't. We don't. I don't. I don't know about everyone else, but I don't mess with futures options myself, so that just gets crazy. It's way too intense for me. So I just, whenever I trade futures, which I've been doing mostly lately, I just trade the actual contract itself. So then you're just literally buying or selling one contract, or however many contracts of the actual, as of the contract itself, of ES itself, or micro ES or mini ES, whatever you're trading, or NASDAQ, etc. So yeah, no, it's actually been the contract itself though.
So does that mean you only buy it when it's low and then sell it high?
Yeah, it's literally like click buy, click sell. It's very basic.
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about theta or Greeks or any of the random shit that the market makers pull while you're trading options.
Yeah,
you can hold it all day long, and you're basically making per tick. So moves up 25 cents, and if you're playing MES, that's $1.25. It's going to be that way all day long.
Yeah, so you'd be placing your orders. You basically just do a buy or sell. You could do market orders or limit orders. It's basically just like trading a stock. If you've ever done just trade orders on a stock itself, on the underlying, that's the same thing. So you're doing basically exactly the same thing. So if you want to buy one contract or one stock basically of ES or micro ES or whatever, you can do that. And then as Dubster said, if the price moves, it's based on ticks. So each tick basically. One tick of the movement of price is a certain
is
price
25 cents. So
in micro or whatever, it's $1.25 per tick. Right.
Yep. And then on ES, it's $12.50.
Yep. So that's what you're doing there when you're trading futures. It's whenever we talk about it usually, or whenever we're looking at these kind of contracts and things. We're not looking at anything to dealing with options, not necessarily. When we're looking at the Bookmap stuff, or when we're trading futures, from who I know in the Discord that trades futures anyway.
It is nice to keep a tight stop because you don't have the pattern day trading rule. So there's no reason to let it go like really, really negative when you can just hop in if it, turns in your favor. You don't want to let it go super, super negative when you could just get out of it,
Yeah, that's the thing with futures too. It's like, you got to use stops. I mean, that's pretty much it's going to be required. I mean, even if it's I don't want to say use a mental stop unless that's something you do already, but it's like depending on how you use stops, it's something you really need to focus on. And with futures, especially if you've never done it, because it's some of these candles we've seen recently anyway. I mean, what are those candles, guys, you've seen? Like, how much would that cost you if you didn't? Stop, man.
Oh no! If you were on the wrong side on Thursday, you would have got wiped out.
Yeah. Some of
It's
those,
a $4,000 candle,
yeah.
you know?
That's crazy. You know, I mean, you're sitting there, if you had like 5 contracts open and you're sitting there on the wrong side and that thing just shot up like that or whatever it did, you'd
Instantly.
be done.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, your margin's gone. You know, you're out.
Yeah, you get
It's just
liquidated.
Yep.
That happened to me
Exactly.
2 months
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, and it's easy to do too. I know, you know, it's futures. You have to be super careful. It can move quick, like really. Even on micro. I mean, it doesn't seem like it, but $1.25 tick when it shoots like, and you know 40 ticks or whatever in one direction, and you got like 3, 4, 5 contracts or whatever. That's a lot of money. You know, so you have to be careful. Just
And how do you do a stop loss on here?
Yeah, we got Earth here. Nice.
Earth.
You got anything to share there, Earth? Futures Master?
Man, I'm just looking at I'm just saying what you guys teaching in Bookmap.
You could probably teach us something in Bookmap.
Yeah, there's really not much to learn and see. I mean, it's just live orders you got over here. Sorry, my voice is still messed up.
It's all good.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really not. I mean, just a heat map just shows you because it's actually just level 2 data in real time. Basically, you see everything. Some sellers there in the buy, and the market buys in the market, and you just use your volume profiles also. You get level, you know. Right now, you're not going to see much action. You mostly see in the daytime. You don't see a lot of ghost orders at nighttime. Most of them you see it in the daytime. So these levels are like legit right now, based off what I see.
These are just sitting here for people to just holding or whatever, right?
Yeah,
keeping them there. Yeah. So that's basically it, guys. I mean, unless you guys have more questions, but that's it. I mean, you can adjust this contrast. I know, or if you keep yours up pretty high, right? Like you don't care to see all the extra, like lower order crap.
Yeah, I don't care about that blue stuff.
Yeah, he just focuses on I think he just keeps it most of the way up or whatever. Because I mean, that's going to show you what he does there. So you turn the contrast up really high. You're only seeing the limit orders that have the higher volume sitting on that level. So you can actually see there's a lot more black in here, but there are limit orders in here. They're just not dark. They're not enough. They're not big enough to actually show.
They're not heavy.
Yeah, they're not heavy, right? They're not heavy enough based on your contrast settings. That's what it is. So if you go down and you turn it all the way down, you're going to see just like everything, and it gets it's just harder to look at, and I find myself just adjusting it throughout the day as it goes and the orders move around, So it's pretty cool features.
And if as you guys play with this, just post in main chat. We're usually sitting here, so glad to help you guys out if we can.
Yeah, and sorry we did this early for anybody that joins late. I think Dumpster recorded it, hopefully.
Yeah, I got it recorded.
But yeah, we just got it started early because Shorty finished earlier, and we just started going then.
Thanks a lot, you guys.
Yeah, man. So if anybody has any questions, let us know.
Yeah, quick question sequence. And when you buy these things, how do you do a stop loss?
So
I never used this before.
Yeah, well, I don't actually trade within TOS myself, so Dumpster, do you ever?
It depends. It depends on what you're using to trade. Like I use Trade-Ovate, and you basically, I set the brackets up right off the bat when I place the order, and then I drag them around. It's basically just like setting the stop loss normally, like if you use either the dome or right on the chart.
Yeah, it's just gonna be however you trade in your current client, or if you do use TOS, then you can actually use it in here. I don't know if you can trade on this Bookmap chart. I've never done that, but I don't think so. We'd have to. Somebody might know better than me on that.
Hey! Somebody said that they use Trade-Ovate to trade futures. What, like after hours? What are your margin requirements? I still don't understand that.
If you go to for the different contracts, like you just right click on it, and then it's plus show margins. Because the other day they brought the stupid things up because it wouldn't let me fill because of the elections, or I don't know, it was some bullshit subjective something, and like I couldn't trade because I only had like $200 or something in the account. So, but normally it's 55 for MES. Let me see.
But to hold your contract after hours, you have to have a certain amount in the account, correct?
Yeah, but normally when they say after hours, it's like 4:45 to whenever they reopen. That's generally what it means.
The margin requirement for ES is 11,000,
Yeah.
And for MES?
and for MES, I think it's 1,700. Hang on, it's 1,100. Sorry, 1,700
That's of
on
your
Tastyworks.
that's of your own funds, right? Not including what they give you as margin.
Correct.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. MES is only 55 on Trade of 8.
Oh, you have to have 1,100 in your account.
To be
I have
able to
like-
use the 55
I have
out of
like
it, correct?
150 in this account, and I use it all the time.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, wow. And that's during market hours, or is that post-market
Yeah,
hours?
that's during market hours.
Gotcha.
So I even tried in post-market hour $150, and it actually worked.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
had
I think for
150
micro
in
or
it
whatever.
after hours, and you were
Yeah.
able to trade with it after hours?
Yes,
I could trade it right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow. And that's in Tradeovate, not TradeStation, correct?
Yeah, trade of it, yes.
Okay, because TradeStation gave me some BS numbers to have in my account before I could trade, and now I gotta fund my Tradeovate.
So you have to create an account and have fundings in the TD Ameritrade in order to get the Thinkorswim and add the bookmap.
You know, I don't remember if I had funds in there when I added it or not. Others may have added it without funds too. I don't know, but you know, I've seen different opinions on it. I've not actually tried it either way though, so I think I had some money in there when I added it.
If
The best answer I
if
could
you
give.
guys have a TD Ameritrade account and you guys have a free account, and they'll cancel your account if you don't have at least $50 in there. So as long as you put $50 in there on your TOS account and just buy one share or something, your account will stay active, because they started closing down for people that just use it for charting and stuff.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So Dumpster posted the margin stuff, but so yeah, you see how you have the standard day margin. That's the amount you actually have to actually trade a contract. But if you go under that, you're going to get margin called basically. So they would just take it. But yeah, that's what you're looking at. So you can see that
if you go under that, they're going to take it.
Yeah.
That's quote unquote liquidated.
Exactly, they're going to liquidate you. But yeah, so if you had, you know, it's based on however many contracts you have open too at the same time. So obviously, you know, if you had 2 contracts, it's $110. So that's how that's working there. So I'm sorry, I'm just totally looking at that, and I was explaining it without showing you, but it's in the Discord chat if you want to look at it. But yeah. All right. So does anybody have any other questions, or are you guys good? If not, we'll close it down, I guess. Again, sorry if you guys are just now joining, expecting it to start now. We actually did it earlier because Shorty got done early. So yeah, we got it recorded though, I believe. So Dumpster Fire is going to post the recording, hopefully, or send it to us, and we'll get it posted.
Yeah, I'm going to have Rockets post it.
All right, cool. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate it. Thanks for coming to our shindig.
Thank you, Sequence. Dumpster.
Thank you, Sequence.
Yeah,
Thank you,
take care,
guys.
guys.
No problem,
Good night,
guys.
Thank you.
Take care.
Good night, guys.
Nate.